Good morning. Welcome to the Becoming Trader. I'm Christian Kamp. And yeah, so let's just go over the dollar pairs and see what's in the market for the day. This is the morning outlook. And yeah, just see what we can expect. So on the DXY, in the daily, we have mitigated this area quite nicely. So yeah, now we can aim for this area here. So that's going to be my target. You did have a swipe there, so that's quite a nice swipe there. So we're just looking for a close above here, ideally. That will be the change of character. And then, yeah, so something like this. And then just look for longs up to that area, ideally that area. That's what I'm looking for on the daily, 4 hourly. Yep, we've had some nice order flow change. We've had a nice change of character there, and now we're nice moving up nicely. So yeah, so now there's nice liquidity there. So for the next break up over there, we can look for some longs from those positions, and then to go further up. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for on the DXY. So yeah, so definitely a bit more upside on those pairs. Let's go to Euro USD. So what does this mean for Euro USD? Well, we had a nice change of order flow there, and now we're just holding order flow. We didn't quite take that liquidity, which would have been nicer to take. It would have been, if we took that there, it would have been nicer to then break that. So at the moment, yeah, it's not really in line with the DXY, because the DXY, did it take that low? Low 897, this low 900. Yeah, so it did take this low here on the DXY, but on Euro USD it didn't take any. It just didn't take any nice highs. So yeah, it could be, so it could mean that it could actually go back up and then take that and then continue down like that, because this, it just means that this becomes liquidity rather than a switch in order flow, or in, yeah, the continuation of order flow. So I'm just cautious here. Let's look on the 1 hour. Yeah, it did take this liquidity here, but you still have these descending highs that are not very nice. Yeah, so I'm just a bit cautious. This does look like a nice order flow switch on the hourly, and there's, yeah, so it does look like a nice order flow switch to that the market could come down a bit and then push up to those points, and then from there see a, well, that's not right, but anyway, see a change of character up there. So on the 4 hourly, we're still within this impulse on the 4 hourly, and so I'm just very cautious of where to look for sells from. That's the big thing, where to look for sells from, because yeah, we're still within this impulse here, because we didn't take any significant liquidity, and there's still a lot of liquidity up here that we still need to take. So I'm just a bit cautious of that, and we seem to be reacting to this area of demand. So I'm just very cautious of where we are going at the moment. I do like this nice, there's a switch here, a nice change of character, and yeah, it could mean that we could get a swipe and then look for shorts when we've taken out these highs again. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. I'm not too crazy about these highs. Um, so yeah, so it's just something that I'm just keeping an eye out. GBP USD, let's have a look here. So like GBP USD took out those highs nicely. They took out those highs nicely. Now we just need a change of character. Let's look at the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, we haven't broken these highs. So for me, we're still within this impulse phase, and we're still bullish, swing wise. Like even this, you could actually say we're swing from here, from there. So because we haven't taken liquidity and closed, we haven't seen that yet. We're still bullish. So yeah, so that just means that there could be some more downside on the DXY to take out these ascending lows before going up. There's this here. It didn't take any liquidity either. It just filled the gap there. It just filled this gap, but we still have all these ascending lows that maybe before the big push up that we need to take. So yeah, so I'm just very cautious with the USD at the moment. There's lots of signs that we are bullish, but it could be a case of it could just keep going down with the news and all that. So yeah, so that's Euro and GB. On to AUD USD. What did we have? We had nice liquidity grabs. Yeah, it's so yeah, so we're still bullish. This is basically still our main impulse, and yeah, we could grab more liquidity maybe because we didn't break out of that. So if we just go to the 1 hour, we're still a bit bearish. We're still a bit bearish in terms of this is our main impulse here on the 1 hour. That's sort of where we are at the moment on the 1 hour. That is our impulse because we haven't closed above either side. So I'm just actually a bit wary of that. Internally, we are bullish between here and here. That's the internal, and it's a pity that this didn't actually close above that. If it closed above that, it would have been a nice continuation. At the moment now, we did take this liquidity at the 50. That's a very skew line, but it seems like there's a lot of momentum pushing down. This is a news candle, but there is a lot of momentum pushing down that could see us take some more liquidity before pushing back up. So the USD pairs just seem to be not very nice at the moment. Let's look at the NZD USD. So NZD, we had a nice impulse. Now we've had a nice liquidity grab. We've had a nice change of character. We've had a nice change of character, and now we're pushing up. Now we've just sort of just stagging at that area there. We've just sort of hit a block, and there's the thing I don't really like is that we've left all this still open, and we're not closing above there, which means that we could now drop down to take that, and then see a change of character, and then look for the upside. Yeah, more internally on the hourly, we have seen a nice break there. So this here is your impulse. We've taken all the liquidity, even the highs, and yeah, so now we're just taking liquidity, dropping down. We could drop down, take liquidity, and just keep moving like that. There's not much else in this. Internally, it's very difficult because we're ranging so hard. It could be a case of like we broke this here, there was liquidity, we went down, there was liquidity, and then we went down. So, but there's no liquidity in this move here. So yeah, it could be, what we could see is just some movement up, go down, go up, take that liquidity, and then go further down, or from here we break up there, take that liquidity, and then move up. So yeah, we're in a bit of a nasty area. So well, we'll have to just see how that goes. Yeah. So the USD CAD, CHF, and JPY. Let's have a look. Go to daily. What do we see here? We had a break there, so this is basically, I think this is actually just liquidity. I'll take that as liquidity. I'll take this as our impulse. That is an impulse. That's liquidity, and yeah, so we've taken liquidity, and now we're moving down. Now what I want to see is a continuation of the move down and close below this line here, and then look for back up, look for liquidity, and then we can look for further sells. That's sort of what I'm looking for. On the 4 hourly, we somewhat reacted to that, broke it, took liquidity, then broke again, and now we look like we're just taking liquidity, and we can look for a continuation shorts. So for me, this could be a nice, did we close above there? Hopefully 146, okay, so it is technically equal highs, but yeah, we've taken all this liquidity, so it should be quite a strong area here. And yeah, what we could do is just grab into that, take liquidity there, and then see that short playing out. There's nice trend line liquidity up here that's got a lot of, there's a lot of stop losses there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for on USD CAD. So again, like the DXY, the DXY is, I suppose the only thing that's not in favor of the DXY is the fact that there's no liquidity in this. So this could be just one movement, and or even worse, could be this whole thing here, and that could be liquidity. So we take that and then look for further shorts. Yeah, it's a very tricky situation, but I'm quite bearish on the dollar. Yeah, Alright. Oh, yeah. Bearish on, yeah. Okay, USD CHF. Let's have a look. So on the daily, where this was a nice movement. Where would the movement start? Roughly there. So this is a nice movement. We've had liquidity here, we took liquidity, and then we pushed further down. Now we're reacting to this area of demand, and there's liquidity there, and now we just sort of we stalled a bit, and now we just look pushing up maybe to grab some more liquidity. There is not a very this is not a very strong high because it didn't close above there. So yeah, there's ascending lows there, descending highs here. It's not the greatest setup to be in. And even if you go into the 4 hour, you have descending highs, ascending lows. So we're forming quite the wedge. And I suppose whichever way it breaks out first. Yeah, it depends which way it breaks out first, I suppose. So yeah, the USD pairs are not the nicest, and we all know USD JPY, USD yen is just a range. It's just a range. There's nothing going on here. We've what am I doing? There and there. We go into the 25, going to the 75, going to the 25, going to the 75, going to 25, 75, and we can just continue this. So yeah, there's nothing much to report on here, even on the 15-minute. There's just nothing going on. So yeah, no, thanks for watching. It's very when you're in such a range that you are in with the DXY, it's very tricky to find where we're going. So yeah, so I suppose just be diligent, be profitable, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.